Hello everybody, in today's video I will be recreating a doodle of my original character RA from 2 years ago. I apologize if some of the footage will be a little bit laggy. It's because I'll be using my old iPad mini, which had a really old version of Ibis Paint X installed, so I hope that won't be much to trouble. So without further ado, let's begin! Since my iPad mini didn't really have a screen record feature, I had to turn the drawing into a speed paint, which I could more easily explain and walk through. So I began working on the sketch using the chalk brush, if I'm not wrong. During that time, I was actually experimenting with many brushes because I really wanted to pick out a certain brush which would help me. And during that time, of course, it was the chalk brush because I loved how it made my sketch lines look dynamic and flowy. So as per the doodle or sketch or whatever you want to call it, I started off with the face and I worked on the hair, which surprisingly looks really detailed, and I just left it black and white because when I filled in the colors, I didn't really like the result, so then I had to get rid of everything. Yeah, almost everything. So then turning to the current footage, I also worked on the redoodle on the iPad mini because if I were to use my newer iPad, I found it a little bit unfair because my old sketch was created using the iPad mini itself. So I was like, you know what? How about I put some restrictions on myself and consider it a challenge, which actually was a challenge because the old version of Ibis Paint X I was using did not have the liquify tool. I was just shocked because I had so much trouble moving things around, and then the transform tool just made everything look 10 times worse, but hey, I had to deal with it. Oh yeah, this also explains why the footage is so laggy. So anyways, yeah, I began working on the sketch once again, and oh my goodness, can we please appreciate that eye for a moment? So, okay, anyways, I began working on the face, kind of, and then I moved on to the hair, and I gave my OC her horns, which is absolutely the best part of any drawing. I feel like I favor RA a little way too much because my gallery is filled with lots of drawings dedicated to her. After I was done with the hair, I began working on her ear. I didn't really draw it in, except I just erased some part of the hair to make room for the ear, and then I made some adjustments because the face was looking a little bit weird, so I had to like sort of tweak it a little bit to make it look right. And then afterwards, I filled in her neck with a light gray, I believe, because I really wanted a feeling of depth alongside the sketch itself. And I was low-key debating what to do about her right eye because the other eye I cannot for the life of me. So of course, going for the usual, I just made her right eye closed, and then I began working on her face by adding some little shading to the sketch to make it look more lively and a little bit different from the old sketch because it was just black and white, and this time there was color involved, so I really wanted to make my sketch look neat. Here is the finished piece. I am so happy with how this new doodle turned out, and it really shows that one can truly improve if you put in the right amount of effort and time into making your art look better day by day and believing in yourself. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye! Hold up. You really thought the video was over? Guess what? It isn't. again with some hot girl stuff. As you guys can see now, I'm working on another speed paint because I'm just so awesome. Anyways, the character I'm working on right now is a pretty old OC of mine. His name is Kanijo, and if you can't already tell, Kanijo is based off of a demon. He doesn't exactly look like one though. He's just another handsome, charming demon, you know? He's based off of like a deck of cards, as you can probably tell by the spade on his face. And I even based his color palette off of a deck of cards. So yeah, I just felt a little bit funny, so I just based him off of that. Okay, but can we please appreciate the sketch for a moment? That looks so fine. Oh my god. Anyways, after I was done with the sketch, I moved on with the line art, and I obviously went for a darker red because why not? Red is his color. It's majestic. Anyways, a little bit about Kanijo would be that he's the youngest amongst his 11, yes, you heard that right, 11 siblings. And he lives in a mansion because he's rich and hot, obviously. And I was going to have him like work in like kind of like a family casino kind of a thing and make him similar to that of the devil from Cuphead, where he like, you know, where somebody loses a bet against him or something, and then Kanijo either takes away their life or their money or something like that. I don't know, I just don't want to make him that menacing. He's kind of like a charmer who traps people in his charms and just, you know, makes them do their work. Anyways, after I was done with the line art, I filled in the base colors and then I moved on to the shading. I have to say, I was really pleased with how the shading turned out by the end of the drawing because the shading is my thing. So, first of all, I went over his clothes because obviously clothes were like, what should I say? Those were the easiest to work on. And then his hair. His hair took me a while because I just wanted to get his hair perfect. He deserved it because look at that hair. What shampoo does he use? What do you do, Kanijo? What kind of water do you shower with? Okay, I think I feel like I'm being a little bit dramatic. Please forgive me. He's just so fine. Anyways, so for the hair, I went in for the classic and kind of anime style shading, where you go over the hair with those strokes and then you add another layer, you set that to add and fill it in with a lighter color in the empty spots. I feel like that is a really good way to elevate your drawing and make it look more alive. And I've been using this technique ever since I found out about it. Even in my recent drawings, I've been using this technique and I swear, it makes your hair look so much better and not just like flat pieces of color here and there. Another fun fact about this guy is that I created Kanijo all the way back in 2019, which is about 5 years ago from now, and it's absolutely crazy. I think, if I'm not wrong, I created him towards the end of June. I don't remember the exact date, but I'll somehow try to figure out what the date was. So, yeah. Anyways, I went in, added another layer set to add, and then I just went over the hair with some extra strokes here and there, kind of added in like bits of highlights as well. So yeah, and then after that I just went over the entire drawing and added my somewhat iconic highlights here and there on the drawing. So as for the lightning, I wanted to go for a somewhat menacing lightning, you know, kind of like the one where half of the face is damped in shadow and the other one's facing towards the light, and kind of like that. So yeah, I even added in a drop shadow, which is not that visible, but this is what I was able to create.